Drive on Lugnutz.
So, we've had smoother starts to the show.
No, the show just started because the music now started. Today we have a special guest, Kelly.
Mr. Kelly Collins in the building.
On the show today, we'll have the auto industry versus the FCC, and they won't let them be. The Ford Fusion lives, the BRZ gets a bump, and then they're going to pop it. And the Bugatti Divo, we have information on all 40 cars.
Excellent. And we always want to point you over to pjnwh.com to where you can find all of our great podcasts, where you can also see all the highlights. I did a Matt Plays. So, gang, you can obviously find us over here at pjnwh.com to where you can find all of our great podcasts and stuff that we have going on here. I did recently a Matt Plays. I did a video for Play Me, the Saw franchise, not franchise, but the Saw fan game. It's
done by Joe Palladino over at Ripped Studios.
Yeah, man. And really turned out well. Got a lot of highlights, and the highlight reels here. You can also click on over to this one, Matt Plays Play Me, a Saw fan project. And it has a YouTube video on there, as well as last week's Triforce podcast, Leisure Suit Jerry and the Pope. And last week's Lugnutz, Ralph Cramden's Tomahawk Missile.
You never knew he had one until now.
Yeah, no, it was the first time that I have actually heard of it. So, of course, we start off this with the podcast with the automotive news.
We start off with the FCC, something they've been planning since 1999. They've been planning for all cars to talk to one another. But the auto industry doesn't like that very much. Their plan is that with all cars will communicate with road conditions, speed, traffic, weather, to prevent crash and other things, but the auto manufacturers don't want it because it'll share information about their cars that they don't want.
Yeah.
So they're going to be fighting that a little bit.
Pretty much. They're going to be fighting that tooth and nail.
Yeah.
But they're going to be fighting that tooth and nail because they don't want any of their small... if you could find out any kind of little data that would get, ease the gap
between your car and another car, that is why they're opposed to it. But
yeah,
FCC doesn't care about that. They would like it because it would make cars safer.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be the ultimate goal, is to just do it for the cars, for the people, for the safety.
Okie doke. This just in, he's losing his mind.
The Polestar 2 with native Android will start at about $60,000 in the U.S. It's using the Android base.
Is this an Android car?
Yeah.
This is an Android car?
So the Android automobile with the 5-door flashback style electric car boosts about 408 horsepower and is supposed to get about 275 miles per charge. Will be sold in all 50 states. Polestar says it'll announce the leasing and financing details near the future, but for about $60,000 you could have this, and you
looks
could take
like a car on steroids, or as they call them today, crossover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that classic kind of look that everybody, not everybody goes for, but it is.
The crossover look is starting to grow on me.
Yeah. Now, while we have Kelly Collins here, I can't forget about the luggy and nuttiness that you had brought over here. And I'm just going to drag this over because this is your beast.
I can't see it on my screen.
Share screen. Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I have to share screen. You guys always want to share screen and shit. Wow, let me go off screen for a second. Oh, that's where it was. I was not losing my mind. I'm just a jackass.
100%.
I gotta tell you, this is a well-oiled machine here.
We're trying a new setup for those of you playing the home game, which is, from what I can tell, Chris. Hi, Chris.
So, I, of course, do things the easy way. So this is your baby.
Yeah, that's my Jeep there, and it's surprisingly, everyone's always telling me, "Oh, what year is it?" It's actually 2011, so it's before they came out with a little bit better of an engine. So 2011 had a little more torque, but it was like basically.
But you got the tow cable on there. You got the nice, mean-looking front grille, which I really appreciate
I
there.
like that.
So
Your car looks like it has a problem.
so I have a worn tow 12,000 pound winch in there.
Wow.
So I mean, I actually won the winch. Actually, my wife did. A few of the things. There's probably about. I think we got that with that like 47,000 miles for. It had for about 25 grand because Jeeps hold their value really well.
Mm-hmm.
So what it didn't have anything on it. It just had just a Jeep. So I went ahead and got a 4.5 Skyjacker suspension lift kit.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, Skyjacker steering stabilizer, Hydra 7000 with some max shocks on it. I ended up replacing a lot of that because I ended up getting bigger tires. Now these aren't the original tires. Originally came with I think they were like 32s with 12.5 wide. I ended up getting Mickey Thompsons off of somebody. They were used from a Jeep club I was in. They were Dana Thompson Baja Pro 40s, which are like $700 a piece.
Wow.
They were straight mud tires that we used to go mud in all the time. Me and my wife used to go before we had a baby.
Take the baby mudding. Why not? Got to learn sometime.
And got these are a little cheaper. These are 35s. But putting those 40s actually ruined my Jeep for a while.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I don't remember if you remember me calling you and asking me like, "Yo, I have the worst wheel wobble," and it lasted like 2 months. So
Old death wobble.
yeah, no, I had it literally all the time. I could not go above 60 miles an hour.
Now that's the thing. A death wobble in this really will scare you to fucking death when it happens the first time.
Yeah, especially when you hit a bump and all of a sudden you're scaring yourself.
Oh yeah, man. Woo! You got to be awake and alert.
The problem is I still have the Dana 35 axle on it instead of like a 44 to hold those tires and to run those tires because my Jeep will say when I was having that my Jeep said I was going 40 miles an hour when actually I was going like 48 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because you change the diameter of the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having that original Dana 35 axle just couldn't handle
Oh yeah.
40 Mickey Thompsons because they're heavier, and I also put a 2-inch extension when I had them on there, so my tires stuck out freaking like that far out past, which was also causing more stress.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank God you stopped at Dunkin' Donuts before you took this picture.
Don't worry about that.
We're gonna
Go
look
to
at the
the
orange
front of the-
interior in the front of the car.
I'm a big Flyers fan, black and orange. It's all black and orange.
Yeah, man.
I noticed that. That's nice. I like the hood.
It's got a nice look to it, even with the black and orange all throughout. Nice little orange accents, not overly gaudy, mainly black. Nice sleeper color with the LED fog lights at the bottom there.
I
At the top.
installed literally everything on this car myself. I got new Rubicon Express track bar, sway links, control arms. I did all that myself. I did the new tires. I did that hood. However, it came in white. That hood came in white. It's from Top Fire, which is a really good brand. I like the brand.
okay.
That hood, I have a buddy of mine actually wraps that. That's actually a wrapped hood.
Huh.
He did that for me for a bottle of whiskey. Well, he literally does that for his job, and he just does it for fun, for friends and stuff, or just as a side hobby as well for money. But he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you. It's fun." He said this is the hardest job he's ever done because of how all the curves and that.
Oh, I
he
bet.
Did tell me though, it's funny. He did tell me that he surprised his mom. He actually wrapped his mom's car without telling her and changed it from like blue to like bright pink.
Well, thank God she loved it, because if she didn't love that, then oh my God, that would have been horrible. Somebody stole my car and wrapped it. Yeah, Mom, that's horrible.
No, she just thought somebody got her a new car. And she's like, why would somebody give me a bright pink car? So the issue I had, though, I found out it took me 2 months to find it. It's literally, there was 2 loose bolts on the track bar.
Oh, just 2 bolts.
That'll
2
do it.
bolts that were 1 1/4 turn loose. This
Wow.
caused the entire car to shake, which
Yeah,
I
man.
ended up having to, that's when I replaced actually my track bar, because what had happened is those bolts being loose had shaking so much it caused the track bar to unthread. So So I ended up tightening them, but it didn't. It helped, but then it stopped because they were loose again. So I had to buy a new track bar. I need a new one anyway. Skyjacker's not a bad company, but Rubicon Express is way better. So I ended up getting the track bar and super tightening those bolts, and I haven't had an issue since. Tire, I did go back down to 35s on the tire because
Well, it's better for the axle.
40 mud tires were just too extreme to drive on, especially driving on the road.
Yeah.
So I just got some little more all-terrain tires. I mean, I enjoy it. I love my Jeep. I've actually used my winch a few times. Of course, I got my KC headlights. I went old school with the headlights instead of the new. Everyone wants to do the straight light bar.
Yeah.
Old school KC lights because no one does it anymore, and I think it's a better style. I just like the old school style.
Absolutely. I do appreciate the KC lights on top because it adds to the whole ambiance of the car. It's very luggy and very nutty, and you did it all yourself. So of course you're the first person to bring up something luggy and nutty on Lugnutz. Meant to start off with that, not the first story, but
Yes.
we're a professional podcast.
We're totally working on it.
One of my favorite things I did to it is I actually got a new radio installed, and it was like $1,300 for this radio.
Wow.
It's from Insane. You can't really see it too much, but
You can kind of see it right there.
yeah, it's called Insane Audio. It's made for Jeeps, and it literally is just basically a Samsung phone. It's got. I mean, I can play Netflix. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna do it while I'm driving, but
yeah.
Netflix. You can watch tentacle porn on it.
Nice. Nice. As long as you get the tentacle porn.
You've sold him.
So it's got everything built in it. It's got it has down at the bottom left of the screen, you can see a little tiny faint blue box right there. It's an OBS system.
My head is in the way, and you're not going to see it anyway. But it's right where my face is right here. Yeah.
It reads all the diagnosis of the engine, the tires, the pressure, everything, and feeds it right to my radio. So it will tell me how much boost, how much.
Wow.
I'm getting how much the average takeoff, the average gas I'm using for takeoff. Like there's anything you want to know, it tells you.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
amazing.
a real testament to Jeep, though, because especially with the Wranglers, there is a huge aftermarket with a plethora of stuff. Anything, obviously, that you could want to put into these, you can find it.
Absolutely.
One of the main reasons, like, because you have regular cars, like say you got your Honda, you got to remove this bolt, then you have to put this on, then take this off, put this on, then put a new kind of bolt on, put this over top. Jeeps, you literally remove a bolt, put the new thing on, put the bolt back on, and it's
Well, that's really simple.
Well, it's because they did the Porsche thing, and they just made the same product every year, and you just kept buying it, and they actually... This is surprising to me when I first started selling cars. They retain their value so goddamn well.
oh, absolutely.
They're always expensive. So if you can find one on a good deal, then definitely get one. As long as it's not rusted to shit.
Gotta know what you're looking for.
There's a picture I didn't send you. I'm gonna see if I can get it up on here.
That's a different podcast. That's a different podcast.
There you go.
Oh, you meant that. Oh, okay, yeah, that kind of getting it up. All right, yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
44s, or the 40s tires, and then I had my cages on.
I would definitely like the cage on the side.
Oh, yeah.
But just taking the doors off, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh my God, it's so. Have you ridden a Jeep with the doors off before?
I have, yeah.
When I was, a
I
friend
wouldn't
of
be
ours.
able to do it to my own personal car because I keep shit in the car. So, I would
Yeah,
just
if
imagine.
nothing would stay in the car.
Yeah. So
And that's how you get a fine for littering.
Yeah, yeah.
You actually can, in PA, apparently it's still illegal to drive without your doors off. I mean, no one's really going to follow the rule. Like, cops won't enforce it, really.
Yeah.
As long as you have mirrors, because
that's
some people forget. But as long as you put mirrors on, no one will bother you. But technically, you can still get pulled over for that.
You can get technically pulled over for lots of things, like,
like
frames around the license plate if they want to be an ass.
If you have something like in your front windshield,
hanging on the mirror, they don't like that either.
Yeah.
That's technically a fine as well.
Yeah, it's an obstruction to the view of the driver.
Put it on the ground, or
if we're being technical. But we go on with the news, and this is a story that you found.
Yes. What do you think about China?
I think the force is strong in this one.
Oh, this is not that story.
No, this is the Ford Mustang.
This is the Ford Mustang they got out of order. The Ford Mustang Cobra Jet. It is a drag car. It has 1,400 horsepower. What does that sound?
I don't know. You are humming, Kel.
He froze.
Oh, that's why.
No, he didn't freeze.
He didn't freeze.
You're just sitting very still.
Yeah, we had a loud hum. All right, now it's not as loud. So,
this is the Ford Mustang drag car. It does a 1/4 mile in 8 seconds. Top speed of 170 miles per hour. Probably 270 miles an hour sounds right.
it's his handwriting.
Yes, my handwriting, I can't tell. 3-speed automatic. And it can be yours for $130,000 to $180,000. Order your drag car today. That's a beautiful looking engine bay.
Now, that's a different kind of engine bay than you're used to looking at there, Kelly.
Yeah, definitely.
Those orange wires you definitely don't want to touch.
No.
Licking them is fine.
Yeah.
Straight up Mustangs is, I don't know if I told you before, the best night of my life was in college. My buddy built Mustangs. He lived right down the street, and he built a Cobra, and it was probably, I think he said, like 700 horsepower in it. Only one in Delaware, the color and the one he had. So we got pulled over coming back from Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning, right on campus, not speeding. And the cop was, you know why I pulled you over? And he's like, no, why? And he's like, for racing. He's like, I wasn't racing. And he's like, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He's like, how the hell would you know that? He's like, because you're the only one with this car in Delaware.
That's why you drive a sleeper.
Yeah.
There was something wrong with his license, which he actually fixed like 2 weeks before that, but it didn't update or something. The cop didn't update it. So they were like, you have to come with us. He's like, but I'm not going to make you leave your car, this car, especially on the side of the road, or tow it. He's like, anyone in the car drives stick. And my buddy was like, yeah, Kelly does. So, of course, we were drinking, so he blew my breathalyzer. I blew like 0.07. Not 0.7, I'd be dead.
Damn!
He blew 7
hold your
and
liquor.
he's still walking. Wow.
So it was 0.07, just the legal limit. I was like, yeah, boys. To the police station to pick him up. I dropped off my buddies that were in a car at home because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And then me and my roommate went to pick him up at the police station. And he was just like, I was just like, it was the best ride of my life because every car, when you have a car like that, sounds like that, looks like that, every single person wants to race you.
Yep.
So like every car pulls up next to you, revs your engine, takes off, and you're just like, you got the low growl of a Mustang engine.
Oh, yeah.
But it was supercharged, so you had that high pitched supercharged noise. So those two, when it worked, combined, just sounds like a masterpiece.
Absolutely. This one will do a 1/4 mile in 8 seconds. Chevy is working on a Camaro but they only got their 1/4 mile up to 9 seconds. Gonna have to work on it. Now, the Ford story is gone. Volvo's building cars in China.
Oh,
it's got 480 horsepower. It's electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
I don't know where the story went. It was here. It's not. So we'll just move on to the Ford Fusion.
Are you talking about the... Okay, good.
The Ford Fusion is not dead.
Okay, so they're
They're gonna-
Oh, hold on a second there.
That's the new Ford Fusion. It is a wagon. They're going to compete with Subaru.
It's green for those of you watching the home game.
It's not black. It's green.
No,
It's just
it's
looks.
green. That's just.
That's the
Kamen
color
Rider.
of our green screen.
Yeah. God damn it. Of
They
course,
they
the
use
only
green
picture-
screen green. You can get one from about 30,000 to about 40,000. It'll have a 2-liter engine, all-wheel drive, no specs yet. You can get it in 2022, competing with the Subaru. So
Okay.
maybe this will probably be their new rally car.
Well, I mean, it's definitely different, and Ford did say they were going to stop making sedans. So we'll have to see.
Next,
I kind of feel like the Ford Fusion is becoming the new Me Too car. Oh, you got a Ford Fusion? Oh, me too.
they are everywhere.
I think we have a title for a podcast right there. Ford Fusion, me too. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Now we move on to the Yaris crossover. They're having, everybody knows the Yaris. Now this one will be a slightly larger Yaris. I didn't know we needed it, but we do. This has a 1.5 liter engine, 116 horsepower, all-wheel drive. It is 107 inches between the wheels, and they wanted you to know that.
They could pick a color.
It continues as you go down. They're going with this whole...
Oh, okay. That was crossing over for the two. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can mute that. Matt.
That's Kelly. So,
Oh,
It's-
Kelly.
definitely, different.
Yes, all the specs are listed there above this picture.
Okay, so the crossover
So
is
it's
going to be a little
just
bit long,
a little
bit
bit
longer,
Bigger.
a little bit wider,
A little bit bigger engine because the car is a little bit bigger.
same wheelbase, and more trunk space.
Absolutely. If you need a little more trunk space and you love a Yaris, give this
Yeah.
one a shot.
Or not.
I'm sure it's not in multiple colors. Like here, you could probably pick like all yellow or just all red. Probably not half yellow. And
It'd be
half
kind of a
red.
cool feature. Like, all right, I want my car half yellow and half green.
And can you please make it so it doesn't attach fully at the top?
So what? Toyota is actually able to make a solid color car.
Yes, they actually can make a solid color car. This one, they took the photo in Texas, it appears. This is the 2020 Land Cruiser Heritage Edition.
Okay.
There's many more photos. It'll be about starting at $89,000. It is.
It probably doesn't have the
It
rear
has
windshield like
10
that.
cup holders. The previous version had 11.
Ooh.
Someone is going to have to hold their cup.
Well, the cool part about the Land Cruiser was that the older ones had the rear windshield that would go down like a regular window.
Yeah.
So a lot of dog owners would get them, so that way the dog could just hang their head out the back of the car and just kind of like, enjoy the trip.
This is the 40th anniversary edition, and it's
They also didn't have a gigantic Navi screen like that.
it's offered in 2 colors, 381 horsepower, 5.7 liter V8. This one will get you to where you're gonna go.
It's kind of like, though, just like last podcast that we were saying, that Toyota doesn't really do anything special with their interiors.
It's a nice looking interior. I like the
Very
the
plain.
color.
All right, we'll give you some wood grain. It's a 40th edition. We'll add a little wood
You're not
trim.
you're not really getting this car, I think, for the flashy interior. I think you're getting it for like the fact that it's a Land Cruiser.
So it's the reason why people buy plain oatmeal.
That is why they bought this car. This is why someone buys this car. Right here.
So it's the reason why a bodybuilder.
Those when I went
Oh, I bet.
to Jersey, to the off-road in Jersey. some of those Land Cruisers like that. But they had bigger, bigger wheels and shit like that. But
Yeah. And
yeah.
especially the rock climbing cars, man. Those cars are just out of this world. But that Land Cruiser will get you to where you need to go. It's very versatile. Nice. Yeah. Especially that rack on the top. Rack 'em.
Subaru. Up next, we have a story about a Subaru recall. Subaru is recalling engines just in the 2019 model because of the fuel pump. They will start calling owners June 5th. They'll let you know what's going on and when you can get your car
faulty
fixed.
fuel pump. So that could either be caused by faulty programming software or the pump itself. Usually two different things there. They may have like a software update because some manufacturers are having a problem with fine-tuning the fuel term levels, which could cause the engine stalling. So we'll have to see how that turns out for Subaru.
And if you're worried, give your Subaru dealer a call. I'm sure they'll love to hear from you.
No, they won't.
Yes. Don't.
Unless you're looking for one of these cars, man.
This is the BRZ. This is the brand new one that they're going to put out. It will get a bump in power from a 2-liter engine to a 2.4-liter flat 4, 217 horsepower, 177 torque. They say this will be the very last BRZ special edition.
Well, I mean,
And possibly the last year for BRZ. I think they were hinting at this article in Motor One.
Well, I mean, because the BRZ compared to the Toyota FRS, it's the same car. Literally, we're looking at a Toyota FRS when we're talking about a BRZ because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why, it's kind of like what Dodge did with the Neon.
And Subaru has a deal that for every so many BRZs they sell, they have to make that many fewer Subaru in WRX, STI, and Fresnos.
That's a shame.
For I don't know why. That sounds
People love
like
the 8.6, man. It's a rear-wheel drive car, manual, fun to drive. All right. And a lot of people will kill themselves in that car.
It's definitely a drifter's car. Don't drift it unless you
Especially for my anime fans out there, you'll know the 8.6 from Initial D, which also had, all right, the main character may have loved a hooker, but it's Japan. There's radiation. That's another podcast though. But that Initial D is an amazing anime if you're a drifting fan because everything that they do in the anime coordinates out to real life drifting. And it was made by the Drift King.
Okay.
So that's all I have to say about that.
Looks like a spectacular car.
Absolutely. If I could...
Would you...
Sorry. Misclick.
Would you like an entire fleet of Nissans?
No.
How about ones made out of paper? While you're waiting for the brand new Nissan 400 GT.
Hopefully the
or
400,
Nissan Z.
Yeah, hopefully the 400Z is a little bit more smooth than the paper body.
Because of the quarantine, auto manufacturers are thinking of all sorts of things for you to keep remembering them as a brand.
Although that paper will probably last a little bit longer than the actual car.
Yes, possibly, because it'll have fewer miles on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. You can go to the Nissan site and find out where to get your own paper Nissan fleet. They have the whole fleet below.
Oh boy, and won't you believe
Look at the detail on that paper.
They have everything underneath.
The undercarriage, they have everything.
All right, I'll give it to them. That's actually pretty neat.
That's really clever, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll give you points for being clever.
All auto manufacturers are trying to do something because of the quarantine. BMW has puzzles and board games.
Hey, get Fred. He does the origami. Fred, get over here and make a car origami. We're going to sell it.
And last week we announced the Nissan coloring competition.
Yes.
Some little kid probably just made a bunch of money doing all this.
He's walking out of Nissan like suckers.
They'll have the whole fleet, so you can collect the whole fleet of Nissan paper cars.
Yeah, Hess already did that.
This is going to be a Nissan collector's item some point in the future to someone.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if they have the car. They'll be like, oh, I need this. I'll give you whatever.
Okay.
Stroke my beard maniacally. So, 7
GTR.
amazing features.
Nismo. We have 7 amazing features.
Love the GTR, man.
Pretty.
They are. I've driven it short distance and detailed the hell out of them. They are amazing.
They're calling this one the Nismo, and it's nicknamed Godzilla.
Godzilla?
Yes. 20-inch rims, launch control, hand-built engine, 20% more responsiveness. They're really pushing the responsiveness. Like the last one wasn't
Right.
responsive.
I mean,
Carbon fiber, big interior changes, performance screens,
Here's
and more.
here's my thing, though.
Yes.
Do not call this a Skyline. There are people out there who have seen Fast and the Furious, so anytime they see a GTR, they say, oh, it's a Skyline. That's not a Skyline. That's a GTR.
No, it's not a Skyline.
It says it right on the front.
If you see a GTR and you say, oh, that's a Skyline, you better be fucking sure it's an R32 or an R34.
I would still take this car.
Oh, I'm not if somebody pulled it up and said, Matt, this is yours, I'm not going to say, get that the fuck out of here. I'm still going to take it. Happily. But, you know, it would be a bitch to park.
You can scroll down. They have all the features.
I'll
listed in
just
more detail.
you know, pull it.
Multiple different drive modes. Looks like automatic and a manual mode.
Yeah, but is it?
Whatever. Let's see what else they got.
Launch
control.
I'm not a fan of the
Flappy.
new manual anymore because
Yeah.
it's just like
It's like going to the arcade. You remember those old arcade games where you gonna do manual?
clutchless.
Yeah.
It's like I enjoy clutching with my foot. Like I like that control of being able to balance and do what I want.
As long as you're not in a base level Wrangler going down 95 during the mass construction. Oh no, manual's great.
The old the SS I had was sick, and I love it. I mean, I think manual's safer anyway because you can, if you're in the snow with a car like bubble car, I always would want to start second rather than first because it's like you can spin tires easily. But if you can start second gear, why not?
They have the hand-built V6 engine, 481 foot-pounds of torque.
And you'll notice right here, that's the plaque. There's a plaque on every engine. It's the name of the guy that made your engine.
I thought you were pointing out the dipstick. Look, the dipstick. It's orange.
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy. No, but I was pointing to the plaque.
That's Jimmy's dipstick.
Yes.
Yes, that's where Jimmy keeps his dipstick.
It actually looks like that guy's name is Jimmy on there. I'd have to squint, but Jimmy might have made that engine.
Okay, this engine was made by Jimmy.
Wow, they come with brakes and tires?
Yes! Drill with, looks like slotted rotors.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Dunlop
drilled, yeah.
tires.
And those calipers. Look at how
Big
massive
old yellow
that is.
massive calipers.
Oh
that
my
car
God,
will be able to...
Those are, I believe, 6 piston calipers.
That is some
And that
serious stopping power. You're going to stop, whether you like it or not.
And carbon fiber pieces, which
Carbon fiber everywhere.
make it lighter.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it amazing.
Interior changes.
Minorly, but I do
Little
like
bit.
that. Yeah, I like it. I mean, once again, everybody's going with a screen. The screen has all your stats right up there. But really, you want it just for this seat right here. You know, just to be behind there.
Yeah. And
Watch out using launch
they have this
control too many
performance
times.
screen, which
Yeah.
it's a nice feature, I guess.
Honestly, though, come on, man.
Although you could get it in your Jeep, just like
Really?
Kelly.
Really,
same
we're not
exact
going to have a
stuff.
touchscreen here.
No.
We're not going to do a touchscreen.
No.
We're going to have the old,
Hey,
the old buttons.
we have to cut costs on this $200,000 car.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough.
I know, like, it's such an expensive car, you can do it with a touchscreen.
But they give you an SD slot for your maps.
Sure, that's what you use it for.
Yeah, that's where the tentacle porn is going to pop up right there. So
Where would someone park a car find a place to park a car like this?
you got to have your own personal garage, really. You got to have a very
Don't
big
we
garage.
have a
Oh, right. There is a place for them. I completely missed where you were going with that segue. So, if you were looking for a place to park that GTR, or any of the amazing cars that we've talked about so far, then you're going to want to hop on over here to KW.com and visit Caitlin Carezzi and the Anne Marie Carezzi real estate team, located over at 1400 North Providence Road, Building 2, Suite 1000 in Media, PA. Caitlin is a Delco native, and she loves what she does as a realtor. She actually specializes for assisting first-time home buyers who aren't sure where to start and loves walking them through the step-by-step process to becoming a homeowner. As our local real estate team, her and her team are licensed in PA, New Jersey, and Delaware, and they will work with buyers and sellers, and they'd love to hear from you. So hop on over to www.ccarezzi.kw.com, which is where we are here, or you just hop right over here to kw.com and find your dream home to park your GTR or Nissan Frontier.
Nissan Frontier is getting a massive price bump. They would like to compete with the Ranger and the Tacoma with their 3.8 liter V6 310 horsepower with the 310 horsepower engine. 281 torques are put inside, but it's $7,000 more expensive than the competitors of the Ford Ranger and the Tacoma. But the Tacoma only has a 4-cylinder engine.
It's more expensive than the Tacoma?
Yep.
Wow.
7,000.
Better than both of those. I have 2 Rangers. I love my Rangers. I sold one of them. I have 1 Ranger now, but I've driven to Tacoma. A Frontier is like a toy. To me, it looks like a toy. It's like a 4-foot bed.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, they do have, it's Nissan, so they do have packages to where, especially with the trucks. But then that's the problem of, is that dealership you're going to going to have that package of the truck? Are they going to have, oh no, we have to get this one. I remember working at Nissan, and I was training a new group of detailers because I was going to go sell cars. And this kid saw me take a steel wool, and I was using it to clean off some film on the outside of a windshield, like a regular window on the side window, right? So I'm just cleaning up, spray the glass cleaner, and I do that. This numbskull decides to take the fucking steel wool and uses it on the paint. And it was a rare Frontier that took them like 2 months to find. And there was only one in our area. They finally got it, and this jackass took steel wool to the paint. Well, Matt said, I was like, don't you goddamn dare, don't throw me under the bus. I did not tell you to do that.
This truck literally looks like they took a Pathfinder and turned the back seat into a.
It's an SUV. It's a male version of an SUV.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'm not driving an SUV like my wife. I have a truck. Look, it's got a bed. I can't put anything in it. We couldn't put our grill in that bed, but I drive a truck. It's not an SUV. It's a truck. So if you're in denial, call your Nissan dealer today.
Okay.
That's probably not the best advertisement for Nissan, is it?
Call us, man.
Yeah. We
got
great
your
ads.
advertisement
Got
right
you.
here, man. But look at those crossbars. The crossbars sure look nice.
Yes. What about an Escalade? Oh, boy.
No, we're done. Sorry. It's not letting you.
Escalade. 2021. Okay, so after that intermission.
Hi, buddy. So, we...
After our little intermission.
We love you, Comcast. Oh, God damn you. You know what? We're just going to stay right here. So...
We have the Cadillac debuted. Oh, good. The picture loaded. Up next, we have the brand new Cadillac 2021 Escalade.
That is very boxy.
It's an Escalade.
You know what? We really tried.
I'm actually about to put the baby to bed, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Callie.
Bye, guys. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, anytime.
Well, we're
buddy.
glad to have you here.
Oh, man.
So, they are saying that it is massively bigger. I'll buy a whole 15 inches.
Okay.
Order yours today. It has extended rear doors and extended room all over.
Wow, man.
Wow, they're really stepping it up. I'm surprised at the interior of that Cadillac.
Link is very nervous around cords. Come on, Bubba. Whatever way you want to do it. It's not a snake. But those big-ass screens there.
They are gigantic, wonderful screens.
Big-ass screens on the second row for you audio podcasters. On the second row seats, there's a huge-ass, like 12-inch, well, maybe not 12-inch, maybe like a 8-inch screen on either side, passenger and driver side rear seats have a big screen on there.
8 to 10 inches, and they have 2 sunroofs.
Yeah, the big dual sunroof is a big thing in cars now. I mean, honestly, I would not mind trips like that if you could just have,
Absolutely.
PlayStation, Switch, maybe even a PC. Who knows?
Oh,
Probably not a PC, but very stiff looking.
looks very Cadillac. Looks very Cadillac.
Yeah.
Well put together seats and gonna last. Everybody is on the hunt for a Ferrari F40, except this one, we're going to be skipping the... There you go. That is Uday Hussein's Ferrari F40. So after the Gulf War, Saddam Hussein's son, Uday Hussein, had 1,000 vehicles.
Okay.
This was one of them that survived. Right before America invaded, his father, you might have heard of him, I forget his name.
Saddam.
Oh, yes, Saddam.
Saddam.
Hussein burned all of his son's cars because he didn't want the world to have them.
Oh, that's a dick move.
Except for this car somehow made it, and a guy...
A guy, you may know
And
him.
there's a guy, Radarasso, is looking for it in the Middle East.
Okay.
And it looks like he found it.
Very classic style Ferrari.
Even if you were it was owned by a horrible, horrible
Never
torturer.
heard of anything called a vacuum.
No, well, it's the desert and sand is everywhere. But
That's true.
still a beautiful car.
You got that nice Nesmo right next to it.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Everything original.
Everything
That's nice.
original on the F40. So that is a little find that they found in the middle of the desert. Uh-oh.
So, yeah, man. 21 of the finest track cars you could buy today. And I saw this. It was a nice looking list here. Honda Civic Type R.
Honda Civic Type R has always been a big track car. It can get over 300 horsepower.
From a turbocharged inline four. So,
Yes.
there's that. The Mercedes.
AMG GTR. This one is a classic all over, if you have the money for it.
9-way traction control system that makes it easy to find the limits of grip no matter the surface. So, obviously, that's going to be important there, like the Shelby Mustang, the GT350. It's 526 horsepower.
With
V8.
a V8 flat plane crank.
Revs up past 8,000 RPM. That's insane.
Up next, we have another Shelby, the Shelby Ford Mustang GT500. Fantastic car, 562 horsepower.
Isn't enough.
In the regular one, this one packs 760 horsepower.
So if you're serious,
So if you really like horsepower,
that's the one.
this is one way you can go.
Jaguar XESV Project 8. If that isn't a mouthful, it's a practical 4-door, 5-seat sedan that just happens to have 600 horsepower.
Amazing.
With a
600
supercharged
horsepower.
V8. So constant power there for you. And the McLaren.
Senna is up there.
$1.3 million.
789 horsepower with a price tag of $1.3 million. But with a name like Senna, it's got to be good.
McLaren 600 LT. 600 LT is a hardcore version of the company's already capable 570S, available in coupe or convertible form. Hardtop model has 132 miles on the clock, if you can own it.
Okay.
And then the C8.
The C8 Corvette. That is a lot of cars there.
A lot of
There's a
real...
Porsche in the background.
A lot of, Corvette. Yeah, you could definitely find one. I like the Torquay LT2. And, a bunch of little Corvettes there. The Ford GT. Absolutely.
Classic car all over.
Yeah, man. Let's see here.
BAC Mono. This is the ridiculous car that Jezer reviewed in Top Gear. We had to twist the knob, turn the crank,
Oh,
do
yeah.
the thing, push the button, pump it 7
Oh,
times.
and the Ariel Atom.
Ariel Atom.
Yeah, they had that one on there as well. And the Caterham 7 620R.
This also comes as a kit car. You can buy it as a kit. They'll send it to you in a bunch of boxes, and you can build it yourself.
311 horsepower. So,
Prices may vary.
there you go. Subaru BRZ TS.
Absolutely.
And the KTM X-Bow.
Oh, that one as
Okay.
well. Definitely just made for the track. Now we have something that everyone forgets.
Lotus.
Lots of trouble, usually serious. We mean Lotus. Evora GT. Wow,
Very nice,
amazing
very-
looking car.
Very Lotus looking. Yeah. They always have that kind of
hot-looking
style.
Car.
The Factory 5 818.
818.
Very low to the ground there. You barely put a piece of paper in between that. And then the Chevrolet Camaro 1LE. So that was all of that. And
Have you ever wanted to know how you design a car like the F430? Well,
Paper
this
and pencil?
is Frank Stevenson. He designed the Ferrari F430. No, Ferrari F430.
there you go.
That's him here. He has a YouTube video where he shows you how he does it. And all his, if you go down, he shows you how he designed the car. You can check this out on his...
Welcome back.
Nope.
So he shows you all the... if you're interested in car design, drawing cars and all that, you can... I found this article at pistonheads.com in the news section.
There we go. So if you're interested in it,
Learn how to
definitely,
design cars on YouTube from a legendary car designer.
Or you could go to school for it. I mean,
Well,
not from a legendary designer.
Not-
That'd be a lot of money.
There's a quarantine in progress and no one can go anywhere.
Right. So I guess this is your only chance.
Do you know anything about a turbo?
Yes, I
Could you
do.
tell us how a regular turbo right there works?
So the regular turbo, you have one turbocharger on the intake, another one on the exhaust, and one sucks in the air really fast. The other one sucks air out really fast on the proper cycles, and that way you're getting air in the air-fuel mixture in and out really quick.
One of the problems with a turbo,
There is a bit of lag because it does have to
and
spool
the
up.
Germans do not like lag. They're not happy with lag. So Audi is doing things a bit differently. Audi is connecting it to they're kind of adding like a KERS system, kind of like the Formula One, that charges the system when you brake, adding turbo, cutting down on the response time. That
Electric
lag that you'd have to
turbocharger.
uses an electric turbocharger. This I thought was fascinating. Formula One technology going into the cars of today.
Well, yeah, because with the electric motor, you're going to get a lot more. You're going to get it spooled up a lot quicker. You're going to immediately have that instant, boost to it. So, no, that's a great idea. They're thinking outside the box. If they find, and it's more just boiling it down to an affordable model to put in there,
The
car-wise.
I find this funny. The throttle response time has been increased by 250 milliseconds.
Okay.
Quicker than a human can respond. How do you time that? How do you test it?
Computers.
How do I test it to make sure that it's right?
Computers. You don't. They do. That's pretty much all.
And I'm just supposed to trust them.
Yeah. Come on.
That when I plug my thing in to check, that it's not going to go, yes, it is fine now. Oh, no, it is good. Don't look.
It's not like there'd be any kind of defeat device or that would be able to prove them wrong.
Oh, they don't do that anymore?
No. Somebody got called off on
then
that.
we can move on to the next story.
Clearly that everything's on the up and up now.
You're going to be able to find this in the S6 and the S7 with a 2.9 liter V6 producing 444 horsepower and 443 torques are torn all down in there.
There we go. So, model
here at Lugnutz, we're always trying to give you the best economic advice we can find. This one I found on cleantech.com. They compare 3 cars. The Tesla 3, the BMW 330i, and the Audi A4 in 5-year cost. Okay. They have what every statistician loves, a nice chart.
All right.
The Tesla obviously won, costing about a little over $30,000.
Okay, so that's for the first the
for the first
average.
5 years for gas at $3 and.
I mean, that's kind of like the way I would expect the BMW to cost more than the Audi.
Yes, it's pretty much the same all over. They say Tesla is Tesla's the best.
Well, I mean, you got to think it's also an electric motor, so it's really just part wise. How long do your batteries or how long are they going to last? By recharging all the time, and how well does your stuff hold up? So if he's really over engineering the car because he has the battery and the electrical system down packed, then yeah,
they factored in all sorts of factors. I have written here that they did the 5-year value, maintenance price, down payment, miles per year, and gas price and tax. Because when you buy the Tesla and other all-electric cars, you get about an $1,800 rebate from the government.
Nice.
So that probably helps a bit. You could buy a lot of gas with that.
Price of electricity. So they are taking the price of electricity into all the configurations here. So that's nice.
So it shows another mark for Tesla. But then again, if you do like Audi and BMW, you probably can't help yourself.
But, I mean, even though the Tesla's going to give you just ludicrous speed.
Speaking of ludicrous speed, we have the all-new Bugatti has a brand new car out. Literally being delivered. There's only 40 of them. The Bugatti Divo has been delivered. It has been reduced. Yes, thank you, Vader. That is its dark side.
Very, very nice transition, Lord Vader. That's great.
That's called utilization.
Yeah, that's great. Oh.
It has weight reduction. They reduced the weight by 77 pounds. They added 189 pounds of downforce with an 8-liter engine. Top speed of 236 miles an hour. It is 23% wider.
All right.
And you can get yours for a small price of $5.8 million.
I mean, if you got the cash to spend,
You have the cash to spend.
Trickle it over there.
Do they have any other pictures below? No.
No, but there's the high-res gallery.
What is that? Oh, there you go.
There we go. Very nice interior.
It is very high tech. I like the emergency shutdown button there.
Yeah, just make sure your passenger doesn't hit that button.
Yeah. The one by my head here.
Yeah, don't hit that button.
This button here.
This button? God damn it.
Devo.
Very nice. Interesting.
Temperature. Amazing car.
Very nice looking front end.
Limits of what cars can do. Yeah. Where can people contact us if they would like to tell us about their car problems?
So if you have anything luggy and nutty to say, you can hop on over here to pjnwh.com. Go right over here to contact us, and you can leave us your name, your email, and what your message is. Do you have something luggy and nutty? Do you have a different kind of amazing car that you worked on yourself that you absolutely love? drop us a line, send us some messages, some pictures, and we'll definitely love to have you on via Skype in the quarantine box if the internet works. And we'll always reach out, and if you reach out, we will always contact you back. You can find us on all the social media pages, Facebook, YouTube. Very interesting fact here is that we actually have end credit scenes on the YouTube.
A little
For
extra
behind the
just
scenes
for the YouTube people.
Yeah, just for YouTube fans, hop on over there to the YouTube. It's right there and right at the top of the page as well. Twitter and Instagram as well. And you'll find this podcast with the kooky title as well as the promo right here in the all videos and the latest updates. We'll see you guys next week for Lugnutz and tomorrow for the Triforce podcast, where we may actually get into a little bit of the video here from the Matt Plays and show you what I got into there, as well as Twitchy Wilson coming back for another podcast, as well as the old man who tuned in here today and was laughing in the comments. So, yeah, man, this has been a long drawn-out goodbye, but I also want to take the time to thank Alma Faust, who liked podcast number 114, Bruce Leroy Jenkins, Metaphorical Tentacles, as well as podcast number 115, Lugnutz, Ralph Cramden, Tomahawk Missiles, and Leisure Suit Jerry as well. So we always thank you for the love and admiration. This classic Matt Man. This is a long drawn-out goodbye. I'm Matt the Bucarel, Batman, Stephen Bucarel, Big Brother, as well as hiding behind him, Hero Time, Link Diablo, for the for the Lugnutz podcast, and all of the Prodrangers and Wallhangers Media Network. We thank you for watching, and it does not matter if you have a Chevy Camaro or a Ford GT. Nothing drives without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week, gang. Drive on, Lugnutz. Bye-bye.
Oh, you know what story I forgot? That story about the speeder.
Oh, yeah, the Star Wars
next
speeder.
week.
Yeah.
Next week we'll have to do the speeder. Tune in next week. See you next week, gang.
Drive.
Thank you.
Fisa. On. Fisa. Cuckoo.
Hey, gang. Without further ado, this is the Lugnutz broadcast. Where is my mouse? There it is. Good Lord, this is starting off awesome. Where the fuck did my mouse go?
Link's laughing at you.
He is laughing at me.
So we're now live.
And Mark will be back tomorrow. We can do that. We can announce that. So we are live, and so that's how I got killed by a badger.
Yes. All over the V in DMV. That's all.
Yeah, man. So
What are you doing, Link?
Come on, Link. Come on, don't
Link.
be weird. We're doing a podcast.
Okay.
Hey, sorry about that.
Welcome to Lugnutz.
Everything luggy and nutty. Well, that's rather odd because we are on the internet.
We're on the internet here, but
Yeah.
here...
No internet available over here. Sorry, podcast over. Comcast, we still love you because you're cheap and affordable. You still there, Carol?
No.
His eyes are moving.
Yeah, is his eyes moving?
Yes. And his face, I think.
No, I don't think he's moving.
Huh.
No, he's not moving. I think he froze. Did the internet freeze? Could not play video.
So we might have actually...
We're recording this for ourselves.
Yeah, we are. And there's absolutely no internet right now, so...
It still says live.
No, we're frozen, though.
Frozen.
No internet. Motherfucking Carol Baskin. And we're shutting it off.
It's gotten off. Is this going to be the end credits?
It might be.
Just us sitting here.
Yeah, we're still recording. You can end up, you can hit subscribe right here if you enjoyed this mess of a podcast. You can also find the best Lugnutz playlist right there. The best video for you is right above my head. And Hero of Time linking us. We thank y'all for watching.
Join us next week.
Drive on.
Bye.